there. I don't know what ideas people have, but me as an artist or as a person, as Tumelo, I'm living my life. I'm doing all like. Can we cuss in this?
Okay,
we're not happy. I'm doing happy things. You know?
I love that. Shut up,
I'm doing happy things. So I don't see where like, what happened and all that stuff, because I look at my life now, I'm like, wow, thank God for hip hop, So yeah, man.
Okay.
I'm still here, I'm still doing interviews and still shooting videos. There's still a whole lot of stuff, but yeah.
Bless him.
I hope that answered the
question.
It
did. That was lovely. I really enjoyed the answer. I mean, that is quite true. I mean, what is someone's perception of success first and foremost?
Yeah.
So I do stand by what you're saying.
Yeah.
One thing that I wanted to ask while you were speaking, you made me think, you brought back some memories, especially when you spoke about Cash Time, fam.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, how was that experience? I think Muggs as well was on at the time?
No.
Was that way after Muggs?
Muggs joined Cash Time Live.
Oh, there's another swag.
So you see, we've come a long way.
I see.
It's not like I started yesterday and then today there's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I keep saying, for me to still be out here and doing what I'm doing is amazing. That's why I'm saying I hope your Aries or all these kids that have the bars now will still be, like I do shows with Oskido, with Spiggity, and I'm like, wow, if I'm on the same lineup with these guys, how long have they been doing this?
Yeah.
These guys aren't even supposed to be on the lineup,
100%.
whether they have bars or not, but the fact that someone is still paying them, booking them, and they still rock the crowd.
That's true.
So anyone can go to Spiggity now and say, oh, but Spiggity, you're no longer buzzing. What's
going on?
And they'll say, but do you know my life? Like, why am I here? Like, why am I still part of this show?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why are people still singing along to my songs? You know what I mean? So you need to first figure out yourself, like where you are in your own life, not where people see you in their heads and or where they feel like you should be.
100%.
So yeah, man, I see the old heads still doing shows, and then I'm like, wow, I still want to be around.
Inspiration.
And I still want, because for me, it's not about a destination. I'm not trying to get to some destination. This is a journey. I'm always moving, and as long as I'm still around, that's what matters.
Still moving. Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
So you as well, you were saying there's some new stuff that you're working on, videos.
Yeah.
We spoke about the video that you're going to be putting out for No Limit, and you were saying that the visuals are coming together on that nicely. What else are you working on? What's in the pipeline?
With Rashid, we're actually on tour now. We doing, just pushing the music, trying to get it to like Africa, and No Limit. There's a song called, I just did another song with Rashid called Higher Learning.
Okay.
Features me and the guy called Ease. He's a lyricist.
Nice.
Dope. There's Blood with Zakwe. We just shot the video. It's supposed to be out. I think maybe in 2 weeks from now the video will be out. Zakwe's album is out, so the song is out there. It's called Blood. That's major. Like, it's one of the best hooks I've ever had.
Zakwe's a big boy out there as well. I can imagine what's going on.
Yeah. So there's a whole lot of other features that I'm doing. There's Big Zulu as well. That I have a track with Big Zulu. There's so many, a lot of features that others I can't mention for now. But there's a lot of music coming. That's the work in terms of.
This guy is a busy guy. He's got features in the wallet that you can't see.
You know what I mean?
He's got features in the front pocket that you can see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. As the list goes on.
Yeah. Yes, we're just trying to grow, man. This hip hop thing, teaming up with other people, just rocking. We out there. We're on tour now, like I said. Doing Zimbabwe in August. We're gonna do Namibia as well, and just South Africa. We just came back from Cape Town. It was more of a holiday than we did a couple of shows, and we decided to stay another week just to have
enjoy
fun.
it. Yeah.
And it's just music. Like I said, it's an ongoing journey.
Beautiful. And social media platforms, people want to follow you, view you. How did they go ahead with this?
Oh yeah, on Twitter it's at Dumelo AB Crazy. Instagram Dumelo AB Crazy. On Facebook, my fan page is AB Crazy. Yeah. So yeah, that's where people can.
Much love. Oh man, I want to say thank you so much for coming through the Hip Hop for Life. We really enjoyed having our moment, our time with you. You're one of the most insightful artists that we've had on here.
I feel like you guys haven't didn't ask.
I know, we're keeping it light out here.
Why?
We're keeping it light on
But I said,
this
you can say whatever, ask me anything. I feel like you guys have questions, but you hold it back. Like, nah, it's not.
You know, if we create a room for artists to actually be themselves, we are not here to be judged Masepa. We are not here to put, and we're here to give you the vibe so that you can get out of here and I wish I could have another.
No, but another good thing is you may ask questions that could get me thinking as well. Why is it like this?
Maybe it's your chance. Maybe it's your chance to get us thinking.
Yeah, but we can only do that if we start. I feel like we haven't really we didn't really go through
Yeah, the deeper aspects.
Yeah. And I really thought we were gonna get into some.
It's deep, the nitty-gritties. Like on hip-hop, okay, I'll explain to you how, on Hip-Hop for Life, how I usually, Sid myself, like to keep the show. We usually do it in promotional purposes, number one, for the younger artists that are coming on here. I like to hear more from the artists themselves and what they're thinking and what's going on with them, so that the people that are sitting at home, they can try and kind of relate. The young artists can try and kind of learn. So if they're going through anything similar, they can try and pick it up. But at the same time, it is a little bit, it is a 1912 online radio station. So we try and keep it entertainment.
It's cool. I just
I said for no fun that's so otherwise we
people always when you do interviews they'll be like, hey, but we can't ask him that, maybe he'll be
they get a bit timid.
And you have to understand the way you answer questions, sometimes you may be answering someone else's question out there. There could be a kid going through some things and trying to understand it. The way you answer could actually change their perception of what the industry might be.
100%.
So, yeah.
100%.
I liked everything he said. I liked the way he put. But then there's something that he said that now he said again, and he said, perspective yako, yako. Therefore, if you were thinking we're gonna air his laundry out, different show, different show.
I think it's nice. I think the way that we kept it right now was a nice little brief interview. I think if you do want to do something a bit more in depth, I think we can set something up.
It will be there'll be a day for that.
Yeah, Hip Hop for Life
Everybody
is a little bit. It's more of a promotional tool. Plus, I had a big talking to from the boss, so I'm keeping it nice and light. But yeah, man, like I was saying, we really do appreciate you coming through for the interview, for the insights that you did give us. And I think the one big takeaway that I can hold on to for myself is that people's perceptions and what people's expectancies are of you is not often what you have to meet. I think find happiness in yourself. I like that.
Just to add on to that, look, there's a difference between the social media and reality. So I think people seem to take social media as what's really happening out there. So we always talk about this with Rashid, and go to a kid now and say, who do you think has more money or is more successful between, let me just say one of the youngins that are hot now and Oskido. They'll probably say, I know, one of the youngins. You know why? Because Oskido doesn't post money in his ear.
Yes, Instagram game.
You know what I'm saying? So that sort of makes people think or assume that maybe if you're not active or you're not posting your house or your car, your woman or your money or anything that represents wealth or that would suggest you have money, it probably means it's not there. So that's just the whole thing with, you know, social media right now. So people always get that confused. They're like, but how come so and so is posting about this, but you never post about that? So, you know.
But as an artist, how do you see the relevance of social media, like especially for yourself? I mean, marketing, music, and this is the fourth industrial revolution type swag where everyone's moving onto technology. I mean, it's hard to overlook it.
No, it's very important. Like I think it plays a big role, a major role, especially for us as, you know, as artists. To promote our music and like for any business actually, you know, you could promote any business, but I always ask myself, like, if you're not running any business that requires like getting clients out there, what are you pushing? You know, so what does social media mean to you? Just don't let your life, strive to be more real and live, make your reality a blissful one before you can actually take it out to social media, because this depression thing is real. You know, we hear a lot of stories of people who seem happy online, and then you get calls and you're like, oh, all right, you know, because people nowadays, social media has changed that and made people believe that, you know, rather be happy online than real happy. So it's that's the only time I feel like social media is not that important. It should push a business.
Okay.
Promote your business, market your stuff, but don't let it be your reality. Yeah, don't let it be your life.
Okay, augmented reality. That's
yes. 100%. And I mean, especially when you look at now the influence that it has on the younger individuals, do you think even like the way that hip hop gets portrayed by mainstream media? I mean, it's ladies that are hardly dressed, it's a lot of codeine, do you think that this is something that us as artists should be portraying and pushing, or should we also be taking a stand and trying to sway things back in another direction? Because I mean, at the end of the day, the music and the content does come from us.
But you know, there's what you call, I guess, you know, culture, and the only thing is that some people have made, you know, they have made it part of the culture, like the drinking and you know, the ladies and you know, but it doesn't have to be. I don't think it's part of hip hop. It's just always been that way, but it doesn't have to be part of hip hop. Like, we don't have to push that, you know. So it is for the young ones coming up now. Unfortunately, that's what they're getting. You know, unfortunately, they're gonna be stressed out, thinking, "Damn, I gotta post this in order to be in." Unfortunately, hip hop is more of a lifestyle. It's more about your lifestyle now than the music. Nobody cares about your talent, and they want to know where do you party. You know, what do you have? What do you do? You know, who you hanging with? You know, that's what our rap world or hip hop has become now. You know, and that's just sad. So for the youngins out there who are making music, it doesn't really take away from your talent, but now there's more to it than just rapping, and whether you have to look the part. I mean, Nadia Nakaya has to be all sexy and, you know, to push whatever she's pushing, which makes it harder for those who might not have what she has, you know, to push. Because now, when it boils down to just music, then most will just win. But now there's more to it than that, and unfortunately, the young ones will suffer.
100%.
You know, so.
But that's why I was asking. Do you think that us as the musicians, like the ones that are setting the pace, I mean, if you're making music that's influencing in a different direction, then your fan base, hopefully, I'm not saying 100% will, but hopefully will be influenced to go in that direction, which will trickle down. So don't you think that also we kind of play into that trap? I mean, there's a lot of artists out there with a lot of power, big dudes, I mean, fill up stadiums type dudes, don't you? I think that they could probably use that to give us more of a direction, don't you think?
Yeah, but I think you know, also don't forget the other aspect of, you know, the business side of things. You know, you're looking at one artist, an individual. He's got like a whole lot of people, you know, behind him saying, "I'll support you if you do this. If you do it like this, we'll sponsor. If this is, you know what I mean." So it becomes hard. You may know what you want to do, and how you could do it and how you could influence. But now you're looking at everything that's given to you in order for you to achieve whatever you want to do. And I mean, look at record label owners, you know. When you own a record label, you sign someone. Usually when you have a record label, you don't have a mind of an artist.
Yeah.
You usually the one behind the scenes, buying the artist the cars, buying the artist this, and you're just looking from far, like, okay, go out there, make them believe this and that. But you as an artist, you have no choice. It's either you lose the stuff or you push what they want you to push in order for the label to make money. So this is a predicament. We want to change, but now it's either you forfeit what's given to you and start pushing your whatever you struggle with nothing. So are you willing to lose everything and start pushing a whole new vibe? And you know, so when you're talking about when you're saying the big guys that are filling up stadiums, you don't forget that we're not talking about like just the individual. You know, he might be the face, he might be your Donald Trump, but he's got a cabinet. There are people in the background saying, this is how it will only work if you do it like this. You know, so that's just the whole, you know, issue about this whole thing. But I think if you sit down, like if you were to sit down with all the artists, they will tell you, no man, it has to change. We don't want to do this, we don't want to do that. But at the end of the day, what brings the money in is a certain image that you portray.
Yes.
So if you want to shoot a video, you're gonna have women. You gotta have this, you gotta have that. But it doesn't have to be like that.
That's also
true. It doesn't have to be. You can still make your money, you know, without all of that, but it just takes longer.
100%.
I keep hearing you touch a bit on image.
Yeah.
How big of a role does image play in one's life if you're an artist?
Yeah.
Whether you are home or whatever, doesn't matter.
It plays like a big role. Like people don't really know you, but they know your image. They know what they think. Like they have a version of you in their heads. Like, you know, like I tell you one thing. There's a version of you in everyone. You know, your mom, your dad. I know you this version. Someone else knows a different version of you. So it's like that with an image. So if you're selling something to people, that's all they know. If you're this rich guy or you pushing whatever you're pushing, that's the only thing they know. So if you were to change that and say no more change, no more this, no more that, it would probably hurt your pocket. You know. So an image to influence the kids, it's make believe. Make people believe this, and they buy into that. It's like a scam. They buy into that, make your money quick, and bounce. You know. so I think we are fortunate for being like in the game now. We're already in, so we don't have to still go back to trying out images and
what works and what doesn't.
What works. I know myself. I know I have my own, like, my identity now. I know where money comes from, where this is supposed to do, who's supposed to do what. But now I don't have to go through that. But the youngest that are coming up, they have to deal with all of that stuff, image, and because you have to get in. So how do you? We came in at a time where it wasn't about flashy things, and you know. Our songs were just about, you know, I miss home, I'm coming home, you know, but now it's like you have to say, I'm rich, I've got this, I've got that. So it's depression right there, because now kids have to go around looking for cool people to hang with, you know, in order to be relevant.
And do these cool things.
Very true.
So it's sad, man, but it's true.
And the recent spate of depression that's been rocking the industry, I wouldn't say recent, but well, what's your take on that?
Like I said, we all have different, you know, perception, you know, of life. It's not just about music, this thing. Don't allow, like I said before, don't be a slave to someone's idea of success, where you should be in life, or where you could have been, or where, you know what I mean? You know your life, you know what you need to do for yourself.
Yes.
You know, and look at your life, your reality, and say, what do I want? And then go for what you want. Don't look at your neighbor and say, he's got that. I mean, he drives a Mercedes-Benz. You know, I mean, if he drives a Mercedes-Benz, go get yourself a BMW.
Yeah.
You don't have to get a Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
Just because he drives a Mercedes Benz and he got a nice chick driving the Benz.